Guys, welcome to the Merry Boozers RC channel. Today we got the biggest E-flite box ever, and we've got the totally much anticipated E-flite DRACO. Super excited. Man, I have had my eyes on this for a while. We've all kind of heard the rumors of it coming, but finally it's here. It's in the shop. We've got to take a look at it as we took it out of the box, and man, I am not disappointed in this one. It has some of the craziest features of a foam model I have ever seen, and I cannot wait to show you guys around it. Today we're going to be putting this together. We got a couple of quick things to talk about. If you are one of the lucky few that got on the first round of orders, the manual that comes with your kit, you need to go on and disregard that. I will have the new digital updated manual linked down in the description. You guys can use that when you're building it. Even if this is an older video now, when you're watching it, the link down in the description is gonna always be your most up-to-date manual at that time. That being said, you can always just follow along with the video for your assembly. I think we're gonna break this apart into two sections, assembly and then setting up the radio. So anyway, guys, without further ado, let's get this thing out. Let's show you around some of the crazy details, and then let's get this thing assembled. All right, guys, so first impressions of this model, absolutely blown away. It has some really nice chrome scale exhaust tips, just like the real airplane on this Pratt & Whitney PT6 engine up here on the front. And there's plenty of room for your battery. It is a top loader, no putting the battery in the bottom or anything crazy on this one. You've got a very nice scale little pilot in here. If you look at the real DRACO, you might recognize this pilot. Yeah, such a great job from Horizon on this. The airplane is covered in rivets, details galore. You've got lights all over this thing. The wings are all scale. I mean, you can really tell that Horizon really took their time getting this one just right. The leading edge slats. I mean, the wing connectors are your typical Horizon style where they just plug in. I mean, this is just such a well thought out model, guys. And one of the most impressive things to me, when you actually pull the landing gear out of the box the first time, you're gonna see one of the most well-engineered, crazy landing gear you have ever seen. I'm telling you, it's crazy. All right, guys, here we go on the assembly. I've turned the DRACO upside down. Don't forget, if you don't have a good stand, I highly recommend you get one. These Ernst stands are great for 20 bucks. This is the extra large one, but I have fit this in the smaller stand. If you're looking for one, they're great to get. I'll link them down in the description. But anyway, let's get this thing going. So we're gonna start this off with these four 3x10 screws. We're gonna set our main landing gear assembly up on there. Line everything up our best we can. And then we are gonna start screwing all our screws in. There's that. All right, now that we have our landing gear assembly installed, we need to pull off the little lock and bolts here. This is a 1/4 inch socket if you guys need to know. I'm going to leave one washer on one side of the wheel. Like so. And then I'm going to put the big washer and then the little washer like so. Get that started. And now tighten it up. We want it to where there's no slop, but that the wheel still spins freely. Just like that. Same thing on the other side, and then we'll meet you back here at the bench. All right, so now that you have your wheels all secure, we're gonna put this little piece right here. It kind of covers up the landing gear. All it is double-sided sticky. You just unpeel it off and stick it down. The little notch is going to go towards the ESC. This is so you can still take this off if you ever need to. Get that good and push down. There's that. And that gets our main landing gear assembly all done. So now we're on to the tail wheel. All right, now that we have our main landing gear on, we're going to put our tail wheel assembly together. So first thing we need to do is pull the screws out of this so that we can put them into the airplane. Just so you know, this is a 3/16 nut driver I'm using. You don't have to use one, of course, but it's making life a little bit easier here. It would be a Mary Boozer build if I didn't drop something. So we're going to line this up right here. Push our little bolt through like so. Grab our nut. Get it started. Now the trick here is we want to tighten this up, but we don't want to get it so tight. This is a lock nut, so we don't want to get it so tight that it binds. So I'm going to put that thing almost down to touching. You'll see shortly. So I'm going to stop just short of getting that so tight that it's going to bind. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing for the shock absorber. You'll see right here where the shock absorber will attach. Put the bolt through again, like so. Get our nut started. Like that. Make sure everything's not being bound up. Hang on, let me get that back in focus. So we want to make sure it's not bound up on anything and that it travels freely. And it does. So the next thing we need to do is put our little covers on. So the kit comes with these little covers that we're going to put on next. You'll see they only fit one direction. Get those lined up. There's 2 screws in the same bag that those came in. Once again, check for travel, make sure nothing's hitting. We're good there. And now I need the springs. Uh-oh, I might have messed up. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this. So, I should have put these on before putting the tail wheel on. But if you make the same mistake as me, it's no big deal. This is just a servo connector. I'm gonna just loosen it off. Be careful not to lose this little bitty screw. Pop this little guy up, and now put the little spring linkages on, like so. And now we're gonna just make sure that's all lined up, like that. And put our little screw back in. So there we have it. Our tail wheel assembly now is attached, and our tail wheel goes up and down freely. There we go. All right, this is pretty slick, guys, how they did this. So we're gonna put the elevator on now. The way it's done is you flip the little down pieces out of the way, and this elevator is gonna click in. So you get everything lined up, and then it pushes in, and it clicks into place, just like that. There's a little button here on the back in case you ever break your elevator. You can take it right back off that easy. So I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's a channel right here with a piece that comes down and holds this in. So like I said, if you need to take it off for transport, I mean, just to get it to the field a little easier, you take the wings off. Now you can even slide the elevator off, and it's that easy. So that clips in there, and then you're gonna take these and flip them up here, and there's ball links that these snap into. Just like that. Get it around the tail wheel, and snap that in. That's as easy as putting the elevator on. So if you need to take this off for transport, like I said, you just pop those back off with the ball links, push the little button, and the elevator slides out. Makes it a lot easier to transport this airplane to the field and back. All right, so you don't have to do this way if you don't want to, but I'm gonna do some of the pretty stuff now, like the back window. This is magnetic in case you need to get into the airplane because the receiver's down in here. But it comes with this nice piece of clear plastic. It's nice because you can also get in the cockpit if you need to put a GoPro or something in there. Take that, and it just magnetic clips on right like that. So you can get that back off if you need to. And then there's a step for each side of the airplane. The step keys in right here behind it. And I'm trying to do this sticking my head right in the camera right now, but it just goes up in there like that right there. And then you have 2 screws. Let's see. So there's 2 smaller ones, and then there's 2 of these bigger, more coarse thread ones. These bigger ones are the ones that are gonna go into the step. These are gonna be for the wing counterbalances. I'll show you that momentarily. But for now, let's get the screw in the step. And there's one on both sides of the airplane. Like that. And they are kind of flexible, so if you hit them, they're not going to just break off instantly. You can see they're flexible, so you're not going to break them off very easily. Anyway, I just wanted to show you that before we get the wings on and this thing gets really cumbersome. I figured we'd put this together first. Next step in our process, we're going to get our wings ready to go onto the airplane. It's always great if you lay out a towel to set your airplane or your wing on and build. This will keep your wing from getting damaged while you're doing this on the table. So we do need to glue our leading edge slats onto the airplane. I'm going to use some of this white tube glue that comes with almost every airplane you ever buy. I've got 10 billion vials of this, but you could always use foam tack or whatever else you want to use. But I'm going to take and go on and smear that real good into each of these holes. Try not to make a mess as I do it. Don't ever throw this stuff away if you buy a bunch of airplanes like we do. Keep this white tube glue. This stuff is great. All right, so now we're going to pull all the little stringies off and set this down in there. Slowly just work your way down, fitting in each piece. We're going to get that squished around real good. And the Horizon logo goes towards the inside, just so you know. And now, we're going to just kind of work it around in there. Take your time with this part, guys. Make sure you get everything fitted just the way you want. I'm going to pull it back out. This kind of gets the glue all set up. And just work this in there. Take your time. Don't rush, and get it right. And I'll be back in just a minute after this dries. All right, now that the leading edge slats have dried, there's a little black piece like this. It goes down here on the end of the wing that goes towards the fuselage. It's a grab handle. So you could get up on the wing and check the fuel, is what Mike was saying in the video they did with them. So we're going to stick that little guy in there, nothing to it. There's two little screws left in the kit now, and these are going to be for the counterbalances out here on the aileron. You'll see right there. And that counterbalance is just going to go right in there, like that. And then we're going to take that little screw and screw this on. Maybe. Okay, I'm gonna put the screw in. Might be easier for you guys too to do that. And then I'm gonna hit the hole and screw it in that way. There we go. And the last little bit on the wing is there is an antenna on one of the wings. And you can either just stick it in and take it off between flights, or you can glue it in like I did. This is a metal antenna, so you're not going to have to worry about knocking it off. But like I said, if you wanted to, you don't have to glue it in. And the last little bit is the stinger, as soon as I figure out what I did with it. Aha! I got it. So this is a little stinger that goes out on the tip of the wing. And the idea is if you ground looped, which nobody flying a DRACO has ever done, joke, is that that would keep the wing from digging into the ground. And it probably is going to help even in the little RC version, that you're not going to get the wing chip all drug up when you're bouncing, but that's what that does. And it just pressure fits in there. You don't have to worry about gluing it or anything. It is pretty cool. Now that I actually have the wing out in front of me, there's lights both right here and here on the wing, and there's strobes and navs. I mean, it's gonna be pretty crazy. You can go on while you got the wings out and half turn the bolts and half turn, and it's got these little pieces of wood in the tips. You could hang this up off of it, however you want to do that, but I'd keep these. They're a little piece to keep your ends protected. They just clip in though. But now's a good time to take them off before we put the wings on the airplane. All right, so this is gonna be fun. This is a humongous airplane, but it's time to put the wings on. Never the easiest thing to do in our little shop, but first thing you need to do is slide your carbon rod in. If you do have a helper, it's never a bad choice right now, but I do not at the moment. So we're gonna slide this wing half in and hope that we can get around the camera and everything. Barely. Positive click. Slide the wing tube in. Then we're gonna reach up from the bottom, and you have these half turn plastic keys that hold the wing on. I will try and get you a shot of this momentarily, but man, Horizon really got this one figured out for ease of taking the wing on and off. Man, oh man, how easy do you want it? Half turn, slide the other one in, and half turn. And that's it, the wing's locked in. That was easy. Same thing on the other side. Let's slide our wing half on. Being kind of careful with it, as we did just glue the pieces on. Push it in. Get it all seated. It's the first time it's been in there. These will definitely come on and off a little easier as plane gets a little older. And holy cow, is it humongous. It's deceiving with the wings off how big this airplane is. Clip. Like I said, they're just little half turns. And holy cow, when you put the wings on, it really makes it pop how big it is. Now, normally I would probably have this airplane setting upright, but there we go, to where it's not so easy, hard to put those in. But there it is. I mean, holy cow, guys. It's deceiving on video how big this actually is when I've seen it, but I mean, it's huge. This is actually a really big airplane when you get it here on the table in front of you. Wow. All right, so real quick, let's go on and put the other antennas on. I'm like a kid in the candy store right now. So I'll press fit them in there right now. I will end up gluing these on though. But one goes here on the top, just press fit in. And the other one goes on the bottom, right here. There you go, the little stinger antennas. We'll definitely get y'all some shots up closer of that, but man, we're about done. So at this point, we're really at the point now where we need to bind it up, center all our control surfaces, make sure all of our radio is set up correctly, and then put the prop on very, very last. But that is it for assembling this thing. So what we're gonna do now is get the prop on and just get some pretty shots for you guys. But we are gonna have another separate video just for setting up the radio on this. I'm gonna be setting mine up on an iX12. They do have a downloadable file coming if it's not out already by the time this video comes out. But for the time being, I'm gonna manually set mine up and show you how I do it. It's gonna be the same whether you buy a bind and fly or a PNP. Should set up about the same way. So, guys, I mean, this thing's amazing. I'll see you here in just a second after we get it kind of just buttoned up, and I'll tell you my final thoughts about the DRACO. All right, guys, so the DRACO is all together. I did go on ahead and program this to my iX12. Whether you're using an NX series, a DX series, or an IX series radios, there are going to be the downloadable profiles for you on Horizon's website. Or like I did, you can always set it up manually. So there it is, the whole airplane's put together. I do recommend a throttle cut. I have mine on right now. But as you can see, it has flaps, it has ailerons, elevator, rudder. You do have, depending on what radio you have, I set up my lights also on a separate channel all to themselves. So there you go, now I have blinking strobes and the reverse light is on. I can turn the strobe off on the back, and I've got the flasher on the front and the wing tips. You can go to solid navigation lights or lights off all the way, all at the flick of a switch. And this is right out of the box as it comes. So you get all these features. As long as you have an 8-channel radio or higher, you'll be able to use every feature on this airplane as it comes out of the box. The assembly was super straightforward as always. Horizon Hobby just kills this lately with the way they're doing these bind and fly airplanes now. They're just so easy to do. And as you can see, this is one of the biggest ones in a long time. I mean, this reminds me of when we were getting the Carbon Z airplanes from Horizon Hobby. This is a huge airplane. The details on it are absolutely fantastic. I mean, every single rivet on this airplane is there that's on the real airplane. It's just a fantastic airplane. Guys that run 4S, this big airplane will run on 4S. I recommend you use a big one because you're going to need the nose weight. I have a 4S 5000. I do plan on getting it out and flying it on that. It may not be on these very first release videos, but we do plan on doing the 4S flight. You can fly it on a 5000, a 4000, all the way up to a 7000 milliamp battery. So we will be doing that. This airplane does also come with all the smart technology you're getting used to from Horizon Hobby. So onboard telemetry, RPMs, amperage, temperature, all that stuff right there at your fingertips on your radio. Guys, these are getting too easy now. It's getting too easy. So if you've enjoyed today's video and you're not a subscriber to our channel, please think about becoming one. If you've decided to get you a Draco, go check out the link down in the description. We are a Horizon Hobby affiliate. If you buy one from our link down below, we get a little small commission. It helps support our channel and it doesn't cost you anything. And as always, get out there, fly something with your friends, and keep coming back to the Merry Boozers channel for the newest and latest and hottest, greatest stuff in the RC community. Guys, we're going to let y'all go. We will see you in the next episode.